Hello and welcome to Fashion Report Friday, the weekly video series trying to get you the most MGP humanly possible from a Fashion Report minigame every week on a Friday in the Gold Saucer when judging begins. This is week 249. We're nearly at our 250th episode next week, and the clues this time are Northern Seafarer. Individual clues include Winter Wonderland for our head, A Sailor's Life for our body, Tippity Our Hat for our hands, and Small Folk for our legs. In this video we have a 100 score, an 80 with dies, and the easiest 80 we could come up with. So without further ado, let's hop onto that 100 score. So then, for the 100 score this week, I think this is fairly lenient. I've seen a lot worse, but there are some problems here. First of all, though, let's look at the hat. I went for the Dream Hat. This is something that you can craft with Dream Tunic materials. It's been in the game for a very long time and is equipable by all classes in the game level 1 and above, which is the reason I went for this. Alternatives to this include other festive Winter Wonderland themed hats, including the Highland Hood, which is a leatherworker recipe. The Cashmere or Rammy Hood should work. Those are Weaver recipes. The Starlight Sugar Loaf hat from 2014 Starlight Celebration. And of course, that's all I've tested. So I don't know anything about any of the other Christmassy themed stuff, but it looks like those are the ones that are easiest to get anyway. For the chest piece then, I went for the Sailor's shirt, simply because it said A Sailor's Life as the clue. I mean, it kind of gave it away. So lookalikes will probably work for this. Things that should work include the Holy Rainbow shirts, such as Holy Rainbow Shirt of Casting or something like that. Or of course you've got something like the Shirt of the Divine Light that drops from Hullbreaker Isle dungeon. But again, Sailor shirt equipable by all classes level 1 and above, basic Weaver recipe. For the hands then, I went for the R-Hat Techo of Striking. These particular gloves are obtainable specifically from Alamigo, Kagane Castle or Temple of the Fist. Those are the dungeons in Stormblood you can go and get these from. There are no other ways of getting gloves for this, and any of the R-Hat gloves will work. These are the ones I went for. So yeah, that's unfortunately there's no other alternatives, but any of the gloves from those dungeons will work. Finally then, the Oasis Sarawel is what we used for our legs here. This is something that reoccurs quite regularly on Fashion Report, so I would imagine that it's the best investment of 1,000 MGP you can probably look for. It's only 1,000 MGP, but you're getting, you know, over 60,000 each week anyway. So yeah, it does crop up quite a bit. Alternatives to this include the Riviera slops, the Glade slops, and the Oasis half-trues. All of those are also only 1,000 MGP and from the Gold Saucer. So nice and easy. So let's move on to the 80 with dies. Okay, an 80 with dies. As you can see, the dies aren't too expensive this week, which makes it incredibly viable if all you want to do is get 80 score, which is the minimum needed for the maximum MGP per week. Make sure you put your FC buffs on and personal buffs. So the dies include 3 royal blue dies, one of which on your weapon, one on the helm, and one on your legs. Then we've got metallic silver, which isn't too expensive to get a hold of from the market board for our chest piece. And then we've got soot black on our hands, and then finally iris purple on our feet. Now specifically, I think the only thing that might set you back slightly is the metallic silver die, but even then it's not the most sought after and goes quite cheaply on the market board usually if you do have, you know, to use that. But the rest of the dies are pretty much vendor purchase. The royal blue is from the Ixali vendor, for example. Same as the soot black, that's from Ixali. And then even iris purple is from the Sahagin beast tribe as well. So all of those are really easily obtainable. Anyway, if you don't want to go and get those dies, here's the easiest 80 you could do. Yeah, so the easy 80 this week isn't particularly difficult. So all we've done is essentially got any old gear in the game. We've dyed the helm, any helm in the game. We've dyed that royal blue, again the royal blue dye from Ixali vendors or the market board quite cheaply. And then we've got another royal blue dye, and we've dyed the Oasis Sarawel, which are from the Gold Saucer that cost 1,000 MGP, and we've dyed those royal blue. So any hat in the game, royal blue, and those particular trousers, royal blue, will give you an 80 score. Now, of course, you could mix and match other items from the 100. For example, if you had the Dream Hat, you know, you would dye that royal blue instead. Or if you had any of the chests or any of the, you know, where you can't dye the gloves. But if you had the gloves and then, you know, 2 other items, you could dye them. But that's probably one of the easiest ways of doing this. Of course, there are all of the other legs that are obtainable from the Gold Saucer as well, including the Riviera slops, Glade slops, and Oasis half-trues. Just shop around a little bit, mix and match, and you're pretty much going to get an 80 score if you follow this sort of, you know, setup. But if you're unsure, just follow what I've done here. Very easy, simple, and great for your ults, honestly. I mean, if you can't spend 1,000 MGP to get 60,000, then I suppose you're going to have to use some of the other items from a 100. Anyway, much love. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Much love to those people who work tirelessly on working out solutions each and every week. A link to the Reddit thread for this week will be in the description if you want to go and see how they put this together. And yeah, much love. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.